students, welcome to our online video tutorial class. As you have seen that I have made the video up to the chapter that is Animal Kingdom, and I think you have received the all videos whatever I have made up to Animal Kingdom through ERP. So this is the next video whatever I am making based on the next chapter, that is the morphology of flowering plant. And exclusively in this specific chapter we will be studying about the various systems, various morphological parts present in the plant body, such as root, stem, leaf, fruit, flower, seed, these all portions. So let's start this specific chapter, morphology of flowering plant. This is the first chapter of unit number 2 in class 11. First of all, when we need to study about the root system, first of all we need to know that specifically in case of this root system, some of the things are there. That root is a specific structure which is commonly found in case of plants and which are penetrating the soil surface and moving inside, and it is exclusively responsible for absorbing the waters as well as minerals from the soil. So the roots are commonly of 2 to 3 types. One is taproot system, second one is fibrous root system, and third one is adventitious root system. So if you see angiospermic plant, you can see this taproot and fibrous root system, but few of the plants belonging from this angiosperm, they are also showing adventitious root system. So first of all, what is taproot system? In case of taproot system, always keep it in your mind, there should be a main root which will be always coming downward and in a straight manner, and keep it in your mind that specific main root which is coming downward straightly, that is commonly known as primary root. From the surface of the primary root, several roots are arising, and those are commonly known as secondary root. They are always arising laterally. From the surface of the secondary root, so many roots again they will be arising, and those will be considered as a tertiary root. From the surface of the tertiary roots, again some specific small roots and will be arising, and those are commonly known as rootlets. If you study the root structure, you can't see any kind of node, internode or bud or leaf-like structure present on the root or rootlet surface. Always keep it in your mind at the apical portion of the root, maybe the primary root or secondary or tertiary root, there is a small cap-like structure is present which is commonly known as root cap, and this root cap is exclusively responsible, or it is present exclusively for protecting the apical portion of the root, that is the root tip, because when the root tip is penetrating the soil, on that time several hindrance, several obstacles are actually coming, like that stones, pebbles. So due to those obstacles, the root tip will not be getting damaged. For preventing that damage, the root cap is present. Root hairs are also present, those are unicellular. The rootlets which I have already told regarding rootlets, so those are only the root hairs. Always keep it in your mind, the roots are always arising from their precursor form, and that is radicle, because when the seed is germinating, on that time from the seed, first of all the radicle will be getting produced, and after that from the radicle the root will be arising. Always keep it in your mind, the root of any of the plant is positively geotropic, because they are going towards the center of the earth, always they are going towards the gravitational pull. So this is regarding the root system. In the next slide we can see the entire structure of the root. I have told that is a centrally located root which is thicker one, and it is penetrating the soil straightly and moving downward. So this is commonly known as primary root. From the lateral surface of the primary root, already I have told the roots which are coming, these are known as secondary root. Secondary roots are again get branched, and those are commonly known as tertiary root. From the tertiary root you can see so many small rootlets or root hairs they have arisen. At the apical portion of the primary root specifically, there is a small cap-like structure which is commonly known as root cap, which is exclusively present for protecting the apical portion of the root. Next very important point is that the root hairs are also present on the surface of the primary root for absorbing minerals and nutrients, or rather you can say the water from the soil. So this is overall the structure of the taproot system. Now we will be discussing about various zones present in this taproot system, or present in the typical root. So actually if you see total the structure of the root, actually you can see total 5 different regions or portions throughout this taproot system. First portion is root cap region, which is the lowermost region, keep it in your mind, and it is always protecting the apical portion of the root. It is responsible for secreting the mucilage, which is a slippery substance, and due to release of that specific mucilage like substance, that will be creating the passage through the soil for the root. And the cells which are present in the root cap region, if they will be get damaged, they will be get replaced by the new cells. So let's see the root cap region in the figure. This is the figure of the root, where the apical portion of the root, this specific portion is actually considered as the root cap region or root cap zone. Second, meristematic zone, just above the root cap region or root cap zone, there is another zone or region is present, and that is commonly known as meristematic zone. Keep it in your mind. This absorbs the minerals, ions, and the cells which are actually present in this region, they have the property to divide. And keep it in your mind, these cells which are present in the meristematic zone, they have the capacity or they have the capability to increase the longitudinal length. So again, going to the figure, here you can see this is the root cap region or root cap zone, and just above the root cap zone there is a small region, and this region is actually called as region of meristematic activity, where the cells are continuously dividing. Just above the meristematic zone, if you see carefully, there is a lengthier portion that is known as elongation zone, because the cells which are present in this specific zone, they are not dividing at all, rather they are elongating in their size, and they are responsible for absorbing mineral ions and water. So this specific zone is exclusively considered as the elongation zone. So you can see just above the region of meristematic activity, there is a pink colored portion. This portion I am just talking about, this is the region of elongation, where the cells are not dividing at all, rather they are increasing their length, and overall the length of the root or the height of the root, that will be getting enhanced. Root hair zone. Root hair zone is a specific zone which is actually arising from the outer layer of the cell, and it is obviously present above the elongation zone. Root hairs are present here. They are responsible for absorbing maximum amount of water. So if you go to the picture again, we can see just above the region of elongation, this specific region, this is commonly known as root hair zone. Root hair concentration is quite more, and keep it in your mind, this specific region, the concentration of the root hair is more, that's why this is responsible for absorbing waters and minerals. Next, zone of cell maturation. Zone of cell maturation is the uppermost zone. Just above the root hair zone, there is a presence of the zone where the cells are present in the matured condition, and unicellular root hairs are also present here because they are responsible for absorbing water as well as minerals. And keep it in your mind, they are composed of the mature cells. The cells which are present here, they are not getting divided in future. So again, I am just going to the figure. Here you can see this is the uppermost portion, that is commonly known as region of maturation, because the cells which are present here, they have already got matured. There is no such kind of the division takes place here. Okay, so these are the 5 zones which are present throughout the length of the root from lower to upper direction. Now just we will be coming to the next slide, where we can discuss about the various types of the root. Commonly we know, or we have already told, that there are 3 types of the roots can be commonly found. One is taproot, second one is fibrous root, and third one is adventitious root. So first of all, when we can see the taproot, what is actually the taproot? Taproot means this is a type of the root system where there should be a primary root, and from there the secondary, tertiary roots and rootlets, they will be arising. And this is exclusively can be found in case of dicot plants under angiosperm. If you see the adventitious root, obviously this kind of the roots will be arising not from the radicle, rather they will be arising from the stem or the nodes or internodes. Okay, so the nodes and internodes region present on the stem surface, from there these adventitious roots are commonly emerging. So obviously there is a massive difference in between the taproot and adventitious root. If you come to see the fibrous root, you can see there these are the roots are also, they are erupting from the radicle, and later on you can say that the primary roots which are actually getting produced during the taproot formation, that will be get replaced by this type of the roots called as fibrous root. And one more important information regarding the fibrous root is, this is the type of the root which is commonly found in case of the monocot plants. Always tap roots are bottom feeder because they are penetrating the soil and they are going too much of depth under the soil and they are absorbing minerals, water, everything. Adventitious root, they are surface feeder because these roots are erupting from the surface of the stem and they remain distributed on the surface of the ground, so that's why they are absorbing or they are collecting all of their nutrients, water from the surface. And the fibrous root which is present, that fibrous root is almost just below the ground surface. It is entering and from there they are just collecting mineral nutrients, water. Because if you see any kind of the monopod plant like paddy plant, wheat plant, obviously you can see for them the fibrous roots are present, and those roots are not only distributed on the surface of the soil, rather it has penetrated little bit but not like the taproot, and after penetrating little bit from the upper ground surface they will be absorbing their minerals, water, everything. Third point is that tap roots are always underground. Already I have told. Adventitious roots most of the time underground, sometimes aerial also, and our fibrous root also will be underground. In case of tap root, keep it in your mind, this root persists throughout the entire year. And in case of adventitious root, we can say the primary root which is forming initially, and that primary root will be get replaced by the adventitious root. In case of fibrous root also we have seen same. Initially the primary root is forming and then the primary root will be getting replaced by the help of the bunch of roots, and those are commonly known as fibrous root. Okay, so this is overall the figures of the three types of the roots. You can obviously distinguish the types of the roots properly. This is the taproot system where there is a primary root and then the secondary, tertiary roots and rootlets are present. This is the fibrous root where you can see the roots are arising from the radicle, but they are present in a bunch like manner. This is the adventitious root where the roots are arising from the stem, specifically from their nodes and internodes. And exclusively this fibrous root and adventitious root, they have replaced this primary root which is present in the taproot system, and then this specific bunch of roots here in the fibrous root, as well as this bunch of roots present in the starting from the stem nodes and internodes, they have been produced. Now we are just coming to discuss about the functions of the root, whatever the various functions of the root can be found. Actually the root which is present in every plant, irrespective of angiosperm, gymnosperm, every plant, obviously these roots are actually present for anchorage purpose. Anchorage means obviously these roots are helping the plant to stand erect on the ground surface, as well as it is responsible for gripping the soil so that the plants or the trees will be stand properly. They are exclusively responsible for the absorption of water, ions and minerals because they are having unicellular root hair structures. So for that reason those structures or those surfaces are exclusively responsible for absorption. Roots which are actually erupting from the radicle, in case of all of the plants, specifically in angiosperms, those specific roots are also responsible for preventing the soil erosion, because when the roots will be rising from the radicle and they are penetrating the ground and covering a larger area under the ground and gripping the soil particles properly, so obviously due to presence of that taproot type of system, obviously the soil erosion problem can be prevented. Next is that roots are exclusively supportive, because in case of few of the plants it can be found. Just after few slides we will be seeing there are so many types of the roots are present which are providing support to the plant body. So for that reason roots are supportive also, because they are providing support to the plant body. Storage of the food, in case of some of the roots it is found that the food remains stored within the roots, and due to storage of the food within the roots, the foods actually those specific roots are actually getting the swelling appearance, and those kind of root, as an example radish, carrot, this kind of the roots are commonly present. Those are actually modified due to the storage of the food within it. So these are the various functions provided by the root system of the plants. Now we will be entering within the modification of the roots. What about the modification of the roots? Roots are actually getting modified for various kind of activities. So based on the activities we will just segregate them and we have actually categorized them. So let's see. First of all, the type of root that is based on the support, and that's why it is called as supportive root. Actually when the roots are actually providing the support to the plant body, okay, it is helping the plant body to stand erect, to stand straight. So obviously that kind of the root will be called as supportive root. So like that, the first type of the supportive root is prop root. Prop root is actually a type of the root which is hanging from the branches of the plants, and these specific roots are exclusively present for providing the support to the large branches of the plants. An example is that banyan tree, because in case of banyan tree you can see from the stem or from the branches also the roots are arising and they are just hanging towards downward, and it is also penetrating the soil and entered. So automatically it is obviously carrying the entire weight of the plant body as well as providing the support. If you go for the stilt root, you can understand that this is also a type of the root which is coming out from the lower nodes of the stem, and these are commonly called as stilt root. Example, in case of maize, in case of sugarcane, you can see this kind of the root, which roots are actually coming out from the lower nodes of the stem and they are just distributed towards all of the direction, and they are also actually helping the plant to stand erect. Storage root is a such kind of the root where the tap root or the adventitious root of some of the plants are get swollen due to the deposition of the food. So that's why it is known as storage root. Example, tap roots present in the carrot, then adventitious root present in the sweet potato. So these are the example of the storage root where the food is stored within the tap root or maybe within the adventitious root, and for that reason the root has obtained a fleshy structure. So as an example, radish, then turnip or beetroot, these are also can be the example of the storage root. So you can see the figure properly. These are the stilt root. These are the roots which are actually arising from the lower nodes of the stem and get projected to every direction and helping the plant body to stand erect. These are the prop roots. These roots are actually arising from the branches and coming downward and penetrating the soil, and it is obviously responsible for providing the support to the entire plant body as well as for maintaining the body weight. And these are the tuberous root, whatever I have just now told. These are the modified adventitious root which is commonly found in case of sweet potato, and here the food has been stored inside the root and for that reason this swollen structure has been created. Except this specific root, tuberous root, there is radish, carrot, turnip. These examples also can be there because those are the modified tap root. Another modification of the root here we are discussing, and the another modification of the root is actually the pneumatophores or respiratory root. What is that? Pneumatophore or respiratory roots are commonly found in case of mangrove plants. Keep it in your mind that this in case of these mangrove plants, they are commonly growing in the salty area, salty environment, salty soil. So when their roots are penetrating the soil and going downward, after going some distance, the roots can understand that they are not obtaining proper amount of oxygen for their respiration. So for that reason, what the roots are doing, they are not going downward, rather they are just taking a U-turn and they are just coming up and penetrating the soil and remain stand in a erect position. So these specific roots which are actually coming up from the ground for only obtaining oxygen from the atmosphere directly, those type of the roots are commonly known as respiratory roots or pneumatophores. Now these specific roots are also having small pores on their body surface, and those specific pores which are responsible for obtaining oxygen from the open atmosphere, those are known as pneumatodes or lenticels. So pneumatodes or lenticels which are actually present on the surface of the pneumatophores, those are responsible for obtaining the open oxygen from the environment. As an example, you can see in case of Rhizophora, in case of Heritiera, these plants are having pneumatophores by which they are obtaining the oxygen from the open environment. So you can see the picture of the pneumatophores also here. So this is the modification of the adventitious root. I have told you this is the modification of the adventitious root, where the adventitious root has been changed its structure, it has got swelled due to deposition of the food, and the example of obviously will be sweet potato. So the carrot, turnip, radish, those are the examples of the modification of the tap root due to food storage, and this will be the example of the modification of the adventitious root due to food storage. So this specific figure also I have shown you. So we have already completed the root system. I think you have seen all of the slides very properly, and you have also listened my lecture also properly, and you have understood, I think, and I think you have enjoyed this video a lot. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks a lot.